With a yawn, Yin arose from her futon. Hobbling over to her mirror, she ran a brush through her long hair. Or short hair, but in the story your hair is long. While humming a soft melody, her sisters always made fun of the way she looked. Her hair had seemed different, along with her eyes. But she looked more like her grandfather than anyone else. They both shared their unusual coloring compared to the rest. When she was done, she had put her hair up into a neat ponytail, if you could, but remember the story has a long hair again, and put on her favorite hairpin. When she was finished, she put on her lavender-colored kimono and went out to greet her parents. As usual, her father was complaining about the townspeople, her sister fussing over their looks, and her mother was sitting, eating steamed rice, with a closed-eyed smile that she always had, listening. Yin would always try and finish her breakfast quickly, because, well, she loved going into town to see him. Once she finished, she thanked her mother for the meal and headed into town. Goodness, that girl is always in a rush to leave, her father said, as he had his hand on his chin and seemed to be thinking. Maniko, take your sisters and follow her. I want to know what she's up to, he ordered. Of course. Yin found her usual spot and opened her book. This one was a romance novel, her favorite genre. It was about a common man who had fallen in love with a princess who was an arranged marriage. Ayo, Yin-san? A familiar voice called out in the distance, and she looked up from her book and made eye contact with the boy. Oh, how she loved his ruby eyes. He walked over to her and plopped down beside her. Ah, a new book I see? What's it about? The boy asked. He always seemed so interested with what she was reading. It's about forbidden love, Yin said. Her voice was soft and soothing, acting like an angel. Sounds like a good book then, he beamed. A large smile stressed across his face. And oh, how she loved it. Oh, would Her Majesty like to accompany me on my small quest to sell some of the finest charcoal? He said in a noble tone, to which she looked confused. But I'm no princess, she told him. He just laughed and grabbed her hand. Are you sure? You're definitely beautiful enough to be one, he said with another one of those warm smiles. Yin felt a blush creep up on her face. He'd always say things like that to her, and she loved every second of it, even if he truly never meant it. Mariko, Rinka, and Fuka, your sisters, were all watching around a corner. Rinka snickered to herself. Oh, father's going to love this. Who would have thought the little perfect little Yin Lin was hanging out with some commoner boy? Minko giggled. He's awfully ugly. Yin's wasting her beauty on that? Fuka sneered. Let's go tell father. Yin is so done for, Rinko ordered, and they all walked away. Later that night, all 6 of them were around the dinner table, chatting and eating. As usual, Yin stayed quiet. All her mind could think about was Tanjiro. But her thoughts were interrupted by Rinka, who stood up and started speaking. Father, you are not going to believe this, Rinka giggled, and Yin always thought she sounded like a snake. Same goes for the rest of her sisters. Me, Fuka, and Maiko saw Yin hanging around with some commoner boy. Such a waste of beauty, as if you ask, Rinka declared. and Yin felt her blood boil. Yin, dear, why are you going to town just for that? There are plenty other boys in town who would love to meet you, your father said, his voice stern but loving. Yin shrugged as she looked down. Her father hated when she didn't respond to his words. Yin, he said, his voice getting louder. Yin, I will not allow this disrespectful attitude continue any longer. If you will not respond, I'll simply forbid you from seeing that boy. This made her angry, angrier than she's ever been. She slammed her hands on the table and looked as her father was shocked, but turned stern once more. You will not do that, she yelled. Young lady, you have no right to yell at me like that. That's it. You'll never be able to see him again, her father boomed, and her heart shattered as her eyes brimmed with tears. She ran from the table into her room and locked it. She carefully took out her hairpin and changed from her kimono. She put a few things into a bag and leaped from the balcony onto the soft grass below. After, she hopped the tall fence and ran into town. It was practically empty right now, except for a few stray cats and a few people. She ran to the edge of town, the part where Tanjiro usually came from to deliver charcoal. She laid against the wall and waited until daybreak, waited for Tanjiro. But he never came. She waited all day, waiting to see those eyes and that smile once again. But he never came down the mountain. After nightfall was upon her yet again, she decided to sleep by the creek. No way was she going back home. After a few days of waiting for him, she heard some people talking about a family on the mountain that was attacked by demons. Yin knew it had to be Tanjiro. Who else would live on such a cold, death-cell mountain? And her sadness soon became anger. The more she thought about it. Demons. They took him away from her. The only person who she felt safe with. The only person she cherished more than her own family. She clenched her fists as angry tears streamed down her face. I will kill every single demon, she cried. I will slaughter whoever took him away from me. And that's when her decision was final. Yin, time to get up, a voice hollered, and her eyes shot up from her bed. She held her head and groaned. Why am I remembering that now? She reluctantly got up and brushed through her hair, putting it up. Today's the day, she muttered to herself in the mirror. The day my skills will be put to the test. She put on the black and white taori her grandfather made for her and grabbed the katana. Today was the day of final selection, where she would possibly become a member of the demon slaying course. She walked out of her room and was greeted by her grandfather. Hello, she said, her voice soft and angelic. Hello, dear, her grandfather replied. Are you prepared for the day? He asked. His tone had a bit of worry. I'll be just fine. I was very lucky to have your training. There's no way I'll die. I promise I'll come home to you as soon as I can. She smiled to her grandfather, assuring him from his worry. Putting her hand on his, he gave her a warm smile and nodded. She then left her hometown to become a swordswoman. She had lived the life of a noble woman. But now, she went to live the same life as her grandfather and learned moon breathing, a breathing style created from an alternate of the original breathing by her great ancestors. She had been able to almost master it fully, but today she would finally be able to test her skills and knowledge. Finn waved to her grandfather. "Make sure you come back in one piece," he hollered. Ian smiled as she ran off. Her destination was Fukisakwa Mountain, a place where wisteria bloomed all year round, locking the demons that were caught by demon slayers. And a smile rose on her face as she reached the top, where there was a lot of people standing. She sat down and began to breathe. She did this a lot so she could use her breathing technique to the fullest. She needed to clear her mind from previous mistakes. She wanted to get every moment perfect. While she was breathing, she felt a vibration through the ground. Another person had shown up, she thought. She opened her eyes to see who it exactly was, but she almost choked out on her saliva. He looked exactly like him. She shook her head. Tanjiro died 2 years ago, she muttered to himself. But she couldn't help but stare at him.